really curious to get your thoughts around artificial intelligence and how that may impact or maybe already is impacting project management, particularly around RAID management.
There is lots of research at the moment on AI and its benefits and its others, and it will be more like the Industrial Revolution, but on speed. It will have that sort of fundamental change of the way in which we do work and the way in which work is done. And it is going to be phenomenal. But the risk I see at the present moment in time is with the machine learning and the people that are creating the algorithms for the AI. If they use traditional RAID logs, we will force people into creating very risk-averse, negative documents that will create discussions and debate and arguments with your customer. If we can get them to also look at the balancing of the opportunities, then that could change. But if we just ask them to look at traditional RAID logs as we've seen them up to date, with their view of being relatively negative because we're trying to avoid risk, you end up with a situation whereby machine learning will learn that and say, right, so we're avoiding this risk, so that could be a risk. Okay, we'll, and they will turn out a lot of negativity that will cause issues with the customer, and then those debates will cause problems, and then people will become unhappy with them because they won't have that, what are you buying me for? You're buying me for 40 years experience of going, that's not a risk I'm going to worry about. That's a risk I'm going to worry about, but that one I'm not going to worry about. That's unlikely to happen. And even if it happens, we can easily manage it. George will know how to manage that one, no problem at all. That one is a huge unknown risk and could come in and hurt us dramatically. I give you COVID. I can guarantee you no one had COVID on their risk registers. And it fundamentally changed. The telecoms industry has loved COVID. They thought it was the best thing that could ever possibly happen to humanity because suddenly at-home working has become the norm. It became the norm overnight. Large organizations realized they could still survive if they did at-home working. And while the telecom companies have been trying to convince us to try at-home working, nothing. Now, no one phases if they say, oh, well, I'm going to work from home for the day, because actually, they can, and that they'll be online and they'll be talking to you just as much as they were beforehand, as we are now, both talking to each other from home. So that's the thing that I see as a problem with AI. I think it could be very good, but we have to be aware of what we're doing with it and not only take the negative side, can we see some positive side, and that balancing thing that is the human knowledge of what is a real risk that I'm really worried about, as opposed to just it's a risk, but putting it down, because otherwise people will just forget using it and just say, oh, I don't trust it any longer. It's not it creates too much trouble for me. It creates too many things I've got to say no to and sign off on, and whatever system is created by it.